Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers.
Gary and I are here again to revise with you what we've learnt in Module 8, Unit 1.
In this first unit, we've spoken about different attitudes towards consumerism and how to complain when we don't like something.
By the way, Gary, now that you've mentioned complaining, do you remember that scarf you gave me at Christmas?
Yes, I bought it at the most expensive boutique in London.
Are you sure?
Of course I am. Why?
Look, I washed it and...
Oh dear, poor scarf. Today's documentary is about the buying fever that London experiences at Christmas and during the January sales.
Before watching the documentary, take a note of some useful words and expressions. For example, you'll see a lot of posters with the word sale on it. Sale means rebajas, and sale period means temporada de rebajas.
Bargain means ganga.
Savings means ahorros.
And now we're going to show you some statements. You should pay attention to the documentary and check if they are true or false. The first statement is, the tradition of giving presents at Christmas became common in Victorian days. Is that true or false?
The second statement is, Mr. Cobden thinks the sale period is a bad time to buy products. True or false?
And finally, consumers' rights in Britain are not protected by law.
Okay, then let's go shopping with our out and about.
London at Christmas. At this time of the year, the commercial streets in the city become a paradise for consumers.
According to tradition, it is bad luck to put up Christmas decorations before Christmas Eve. But the streets and the shops in London light up many days before then with millions of coloured lights that remain on until January the 6th.
Big department stores known all over the world, such as Liberty's, Hanley's, the toy shop, Harrods or Selfridges, spend huge amounts of money in order to have the most beautifully decorated shop windows.
Much more money, however, is spent on presents. Giving presents is a tradition which became common in Victorian days. Until then, the custom was to give presents to children and servants on New Year's Day or on the night of January the 5th. Nowadays, presents are exchanged on Christmas Day.
But just as important as Christmas shopping are the January sales. In some big department stores, such as Harrods, the first day of the sales has become a true ceremony. On this occasion, the countdown was initiated by James Bond himself, the actor Pierce Brosnan.
The most wonderful sale in the world is now officially open.
Thousands of people go to the sales on the first day, hoping to find a bargain. The January sales can be a good opportunity to save some money, but also to spend too much on things we don't really need or that are not very good quality. We asked Mr. Cobden, a spokesman for Selfridges, one of the most important department stores in London, if he thinks it is a good idea to buy at the sales.
The sale period is a very good time in which to buy products. All the products that we will keep on the shop floor during the sale period will be of first quality. We won't be buying in second quality products, and they will represent significant savings to any customer who comes into Selfridges.
Do you think shops sell different quality products when they have a sale?
There are some companies who will buy in different products during the sale period, but in my two areas, throughout the store, we keep exactly the same products on the shop floor during the sale period. Otherwise, you're giving two different kinds of stories out to your customers, which can be confusing.
For 5 weeks, until the end of January, all shops cover their shop windows with posters advertising their sales.
During the sales, the laws protecting consumers are still valid, although not all the shops respect them. That's why we asked Mr. Cobden if consumers' rights are protected.
Yes, there are laws that have been passed by our Parliament which protect consumers' rights during sale periods and outside of sale periods. Within Selfridges, we also have a customer care policy where we will always look after the customer's rights, whether they're written into law or not.
Do you think it's necessary to protect consumers' rights?
I think it's very important to protect our customers and all customers, because not every company that's on the high street is as honest and as open as the big department stores that we have in London. So I think it's critical.
With a few exceptions, shopping in London is a real pleasure at any time of the year. Even at the sales, most shops follow one of the golden rules of commerce, the rule that says that the customer is always right.
We'd better check if our viewers have found out if the statements were true or false. The first was, the tradition of giving presents at Christmas became common in Victorian days. Now, is that true or false?
Giving presents is a tradition which became common in Victorian days.
So, it's true.
The second statement was, Mr. Cobden thinks the sale period is a bad time to buy products. True or false?
The sale period is a very good time in which to buy products.
So, Mr. Cobden thinks it's a good time for shopping, so it's false.
And finally, the third statement was, consumers' rights in Britain are not protected by law. Is that true or false? Now let's listen to Mr. Cobden.
Yes, there are laws that have been passed by our Parliament which protect consumers' rights during sale periods and outside of sale periods.
The third statement then was false.
Now it's time for a good laugh with a sketch. You're going to see the best door-to-door saleswoman in the world in action.
Well, if not the best, the most persistent. Let's watch our sketch.
Good evening. My name's Sarah Ashton. I'm a sales representative for Morgan & Drake Limited, a door-to-door sales company. Could I come in?
Pardon?
Can I come in, please?
No, I haven't got any time.
If I were you, I wouldn't miss this opportunity.
Honestly, I'd love to, but I have no time.
It's very dark in here. I'll turn on the light. Oh.
No, turn off the light, please, madam.
We need light to see the wonderful, wonderful products that I am going to show you.
I'm sorry, I have a little problem with...
You've got a problem. Your problem is that you haven't got an encyclopedia.
I beg your pardon?
An encyclopedia, this one.
An encyclopedia of wildlife?
You need an encyclopedia. I can read that on your face.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, imagine a lion walked in through that door. What would happen?
Did you say a lion?
Yes, a huge lion. I'd be scared and I'd scream.
Please, madam, be quiet.
What would you do?
I don't know what I would do if a lion walked into this room, but...
You see, if you had this encyclopedia, you'd be able to know about the behavior of the African lion, and you'd be able to do something about it. And that's not all. This is an audiovisual encyclopedia. Watch. First, let's switch the video on. Now, the television. And let's put the tape in. Ta-da!
Please, turn down the volume.
Pardon, I can't hear you.
Switch off the television!
You liked it, didn't you?
Yes, very much. I would buy it if I could, but
If you buy the encyclopedia, you'll get this radio cassette recorder and this alarm clock. Stop it!
This is the police. You are surrounded. Put up your hands and come out.
God.
This is the police. You are surrounded.
Are you a burglar? How lucky! I've got just what you need. Agatha Christie's complete works. I think you're going to have plenty of free time.
Para que luego digan que la cultura os hará libres.
It's time for a quick summary in our summing up.
Hemos revisado el uso de algunos verbos con partícula, ya sea preposición o adverbio.
También cuando se usa y no se usa el artículo determinado the.
Se usa, por ejemplo, para referirse a algo que se ha mencionado ya o que se conoce bien, o con un adjetivo para referirse a todas las cosas o personas de ese grupo.
Y no se usa cuando nos referimos a algo en sentido general o con nombres de personas, cargos, calles o países.
Aunque hay excepciones.
And that's all for today.
We'll be back with you in the next program to help you with a revision of Unit 2. Bye.